We are choosing hope over fear. We are choosing unity over division. We cannot have a thriving Wall Street while Main Street suffers. To those Americans whose support I have yet to earn, I may not have won your vote tonight, but I hear your voices. I need your help, and I will be your president too.
And that's the man that's caused all the trouble in Moneygall.
In 2007, a tentative link was established between a tiny village in County Offaly, a relatively unknown senator from Chicago, and a 22-year-old plumber's clerk who dreamed of bringing those two things together.
You know, I've always maintained that Obama is an Irish name. You just put the apostrophe after the O and we're all set. So.
Okay, thanks very much.
As the race for the Democratic nomination got underway, with the odds stacked against Barack Obama, a young man called Henry Healy decided, out of family loyalty, to take a punt on the underdog.
The fact of the matter is, around Moneygall, no one actually knows. There's one guy who knows who Obama is. It's Henry Healy. He's here tonight. He's a very, very distant relation to Henry. And for Henry's sake, I'll be honest, Henry has backed this man from the start.
Where are you? I can't see you. We're here tonight to promote Barack Obama's ancestral roots with Moneygall, and it's been linked with a fundraising event for the local soccer club. It's an endorsement maybe from the village for the senator, as well as a fundraising event for the club.
He's really got behind Obama. But if Obama gets in, this man will be very happy.
So hopefully we'll have Barack Obama over to officially open Obama Park in Moneygall for the soccer club.
Is that what it's called now?
No, but if you came over, we'd be willing to put any name on it for him.
He has him backed at 8-1. No, I don't want to pay, thanks. He has him backed at 8-1 to be the next president of America, and if he gets in, we're all having a free night on Henry.
We were in contact with the Obama camp for their support for the event. They indicated he was a little bit busy, so.
Henry and the cousin were about to get a whole lot busier.
At this defining moment in history.
Just 45, he has just 2 years' service in the US Senate under his belt.
I have watched it. The American people are responding.
Barack Obama, the first-term senator from Illinois, is no longer the long-shot candidate he was once portrayed.
Stars and stripes all day.
As Obama's star continued to rise, so too did Henry Healy's.
It's for the pub for Julia Hayes. They're going to hang it up.
Henry's great-aunt Julia runs one of Moneygall's two pubs. The other one belongs to Ollie,
Hello,
his
Julia.
uncle on the mother's
I have
side.
this for you. The flag. So now that's for you for the shop.
Right, I'll put it up.
Buddy has it hanging out, big out the window, a big flag.
Maybe I'd
Yeah, because Ollie has one as well, and we're going to put out his window as well. Windows.
Right.
And here goes the phone again. Right. Okay, Julia.
Even in Moneygall, where almost everyone is related by blood or marriage or a will, Barack Obama's Protestant Irish roots were a surprise,
good, thanks.
even to the man who confirmed them, local vicar Canon Stephen Neal.
This story began for me when I got an email from an American genealogist who was researching some family roots, and he revealed the nature of his inquiry, that it had connections with the presidential candidate Barack Obama. And I suppose, being human, my appetite was whetted somewhat, and I started to delve into the information that he gave me. And sure enough, within our records, after a couple of hours rooting, I found some of the names that he was looking for. The only thing is, it's quite hard to decipher in places the actual text. Okay, we're talking about 8 generations in total here. Joseph and Phoebe Carney would be the 5th great-grandparents, which makes 8 generations of Barack Obama. Fulmouth Carney, who immigrated to the States, would be the 4th great-grandfather of Barack Obama on his maternal side.
Fulmouth's daughter Mary Ann eventually settled in Kansas, which remained home to the Carney line right down to Stanley Ann Dunham, Fulmouth's great-great-granddaughter and Barack Obama's mother.
And when I did find the records, I must say a shiver went down my spine. It really was an extraordinary experience.
Of the 6 US presidents to have visited Ireland in the last century, 4 have claimed Irish roots. One whose Irishness in many ways defined who he was.
It took 115 years to make this trip.
Another whose Irishness, at least to us, made up for who he was.
Something deep inside began to stir.
There was the one we really wished was Irish, who actually wasn't. And the one we weren't so keen to claim, who actually was. In late 2007, the plucky senator from Chicago wasn't the only one dealing with the insatiable demands of the media.
I'm Senator Barack Obama's distant relative.
Brilliant.
This big man who could have the power over the rest of the world, you know.
By now, Henry was having to juggle his role as the voice of Moneygall with the demands of his day job at T&E Plumbing.
Henry looks after all accounts. What does Henry do? Henry does everything. He works here in the office. Like he does his main function like is the accounts, keeping the bills out and the money coming in. But apart from that, then like Henry does the pricing, he does the purchasing. If some of the boys was on a job and they were stuck for someone to hold up a radiator with him, Henry will go out and he'll do that. So Henry's job is in the office, but like as I said, Henry he's like myself and Mick is the 2 directors of the company, but Henry probably does more than us. Yeah, we do have a crack about it, and how are you related to Henry? Well, I'm the 9th cousin of Obama, and then there's the 9th cousin, but then, that's we do have a great crack about it, and we do have various different people here, and we do get various different phone calls, or Henry does, people are very light-hearted, at the minute.
But there was serious business underway too, and the nature of that business was change.
We're choosing unity over division and sending a powerful message that change is coming to America.
You could see a slight resemblance in Henry. Now, it is hard to believe it, maybe 8th generation. If you just look there, look. Put away your hand there now. Yeah. Isn't he very like Henry from the that up?
Apart from his black hair, if he had fair hair, he'd look very like him.
Moneygall knew it had backed a winner, but in America, as the Democrats prepared to choose their presidential candidate, punters were still undecided.
The former First Lady has tried to mark herself as the candidate of experience, and Senator Obama as nothing more than a talented, eloquent novice.
Words are important and words matter, but actions speak louder than words.
The final word, the one that would eventually swing the vote in Obama's favor, came from a man who was about as Irish as any American could be.
I ask you to join in this historic journey to have the courage to choose change. It's time again for a new generation of leadership. It is time now for Barack Obama.
You don't believe me, I hear you say, but Barack's as Irish as was JFK.
Every movement needs an anthem, and Moneygall's came courtesy of a trio of wily balladeers called the Corrigan Brothers.
In February we read the background of Obama and Moneygall, put a song together about it, and we called it There's No One as Irish as Barack Obama. Not long after that we put it on YouTube. During March I think it got 20 hits, about 19 of those are from ourselves. And in early April, some of the American media picked up on it. The Washington Post described it as a cross between the Clancy Brothers and the Beastie Boys. That got us a lot of attention in the States.
There's no one as Irish as Barack Obama.
It's more of a poke of fun at the link rather than a serious song, and we're happy enough to go along with it. I think it's a humorous song, and sure, if it brings a bit of an atmosphere today and it highlights the Obama link yet again, it's worth it.
I'd love if Barack Obama came to Moneygall, and I think it would be certainly worth his while during the campaign to fly in for an hour or two and acknowledge the Irish link.
The fact that he's black or coloured, it doesn't matter. I don't think it should matter.
And I think it's wonderful, and I would be delighted if he got in, because he would actually be the first black president of America, which would be brilliant. I mean, when Ronald Reagan got in as president of America, Ballyporeen and South Tipperary they really had a ball with the amount of American tourists that came to Ballyporeen when he was president of America. So I would imagine if he got in for president here, Moneygall would certainly benefit hugely. Because there is really nothing in the village. It's just a little place you go through when you're going somewhere else. So it would be actually nice to have someone stopping the place for a change.
I accept your nomination for presidency of the United States. It's time for them to own their failure. It's time for us to change America. And that's why I'm running for president of the United States.
It's the most exciting thing I think that has ever happened to the village, happened to our own family. It's brilliant, and it's fantastic to be associated with it. It's brilliant for the village, and I've seen the records myself, and Stephen Neal will gladly show them to any naysayer, I can assure you.
The race was far from run, but this time at least, the naysayers were well down the field.
John McCain still has not been able to tell the American people a single major thing he'd do differently from George Bush when it comes to the economy.
But McCain still has that old-fashioned fighting spirit.
I am an American, and I choose to fight. Don't give up hope.
We can't afford to slow down or sit back or let up. Not 1 minute, not 1 hour, not 1 second, not any time in the next 36 hours. Not now. Not when there's so much at stake. We've got to win Florida and win this election.
After 5 months, with the campaign trail worn smooth, there was nothing Henry or anyone else in Ollie's Bar could do but sit back and prepare for destiny.
Change to the United States and hopefully the rest of the world. We'll be having an open invitation to President-elect, hopefully come Wednesday morning. Today is election day. It's been hectic here. I wonder if Moneygall had the link to McCain, would there be this sort of frenzy? I don't think so. It's because of the energy and the inspirational figure that Barack Obama has become that Moneygall is probably getting this attention.
Overnight, Moneygall became the biggest little village in Ireland.
The voting has begun, and the pub is full inside, full of Barack Obama supporters, and we're just waiting for the first of the polls to close, and the results should be in shortly.
Results will then come in throughout the night.
CNN have just declared that Barack Obama has won Vermont. Connecticut has been secured by the Democrats as well, so Obama has that. We're probably en route to a victory, but we won't count our chickens yet because they're not all hatched.
World leaders have welcomed the election of Barack Obama as America's 44th president.
It's been a long time coming, but tonight, because of what we did on this day, in this election, at this defining moment, change has come to America.
Congratulations, Henry.
Great news.
You're one of the best.
Indeed.
You have put us on the map.
Indeed, I didn't do it at all.
After all, of course you did. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
You know, no matter what. Did you sleep a week last night?
Oh, I didn't get to bed till after 4, so.
Oh, I was like that myself.
Yeah, and I was up early then this morning.
And so was I.
Yeah.
We're really on the map.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
You know, brilliant.
Yeah.
But definitely, I have to say, this man is, after working very hard. We never saw the like of this.
And we never will again.
I know.
No.
It's a pity I'm so old.
Indeed.
I'd love to be now your age. Sir Henry, he's one of the best. He never saw me short of help when I wanted it. And that is really facts. Across the road, we're a big, happy family, the whole lot of us.
Yeah, definitely.
And I hope you'll make it to the top.
Sure. You never know.
You will. You're young. I won't be alive.
Indeed you will.
Maybe to see it, but I can't live to be 100.
And you can't kill a good thing either, Julia.
It's the answer spoken by young and old, rich and poor, Democrat and Republican, black, white, Hispanic, Asian, Native American, gay, straight, disabled and not disabled, Americans who sent a message to the world that we have never been just a collection of individuals or a collection of red states and blue states. We are and always will be the United States of America.
I listened to the speeches and it was unbelievable. It's big. They're even saying as big as the Kennedy era, so it's going to be good for us here to get that visit if we can get it as well, you know.
Whatever about the prospect of a visit by the next President of the United States, the people of this part of County Offaly are looking forward to a significant tourism boost over the next 4 years.
And little did I think that out of an email and a phone call would come all this. The hysteria and the hype that has caught the imagination of people all around the world. And the Irish link, obviously, specifically of interest to us, and the link with Moneygall, which has got so much publicity and caused so much interest. It really is, sometimes I have to slap myself to make sure I'm not dreaming, to be honest.
Change had indeed come. The world was a little smaller and a little more hopeful.
It's where I'm supposed to be 9 to 5 every weekday. But it doesn't work out that way sometimes because of the Obama connection, but sure, fairly flexible and good. Lucky to have such a good boss to work for. Over the next week, I'll be travelling to Washington. I've been invited over myself, Stephen Neal, and the Corrigan brothers have been invited over to attend inaugural events with the Irish American Democrats and the Irish American Fund. It'll be a special occasion, and it's great to be over in Washington for what'll be one of the most historic events in my lifetime, probably. And who knows, maybe Barack Obama could pop along just to say hello.
And so in January 2009, 6,000 miles and 159 years became here and now, as the man from Moneygall and his friends set out for Capitol Hill to meet the cousin.
Hi, Obama's cousin.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. What's your name?
Henry.
Henry Obama?
No, Healy.
Yeah. Are you not going to meet Obama?
My link goes back to Sarah Healy. She'd be 6th grade from Grandaunt to me, and she's 6th grade of her grandmother to Barack Obama.
Wow. So she's the great.
Yeah, 6th grade.
6th grade.
Yeah, because it goes back to 1761.
Oh, that's right.
So.
You have his eyes. Has he been? And those ears. He has his ears. They're so cute. The Obama ears.
Yeah.
And I made him blush. That's so normal. You're famous, babe.
Famous.
You're all famous.
I love that song. Do you love that song? I love the song. Yes. O'Leary, O'Reilly, O'Neill, and O'Hara. There's no one as Irish as Barack Obama. Love it.
There's no one as Irish as Barack Obama.
For every reason that anyone could imagine, Washington, D.C., in the run-up to the inauguration, was the busiest, happiest, Barackest place in all America.
Hand puppies! Come get your Barack Obama hand puppies! Hey, we're happy to have you here.
Thank you. Well, I think it's impossible to exaggerate the significance. I don't think it's just the fact that he's the first black American to become president. But I think on the heels of 8 years of completely catastrophic leadership, he offers hope. And it's an amazing contrast. In a way, we wouldn't have Obama if Bush hadn't been so bad.
New York, close to Ireland.
The king of New York.
Well, who's the king of New York?
The movie, you didn't see the movie?
No.
Oh, the Irish and the, oh man, you gotta see it.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I'm super excited. Yes, Obama!
Absolutely amazing. I mean, there's a sort of fiesta spirit. I mean, people are so happy. Everybody you meet is really suffused with all of this. You know, it's as if they've spent a week in Ireland and have experienced Irish whiskey for the first time.
Well, now here's something that you might not have known, which is that Barack Obama, the 44th President of the United States, has Irish connections. He has Irish roots.
All right, fun.
I've never seen this in my lifetime. I ain't never think it'll be a black president. It's just a wonderful thing.
Because I thought I would see it. Never dream of it, really. My mother and father was slaves.
We're up at this ungodly hour to take a phone call from Ryan Tuberty. How could he get me up this early? I don't know. His show goes for an hour. He could have given me an extra hour in bed. 5 o'clock in the morning. I come in at home at 4 o'clock in the morning. I don't get up. Taking a phone call. Ryan, it was absolutely crazy coming up from New York to Washington. Someone mentioned I was Obama's distant cousin, and we had people coming down just wanting to get their photographs taken. I was totally mortified. They told me I had Obama ears. They were a little bit older than me, Ryan, so and a little bit larger, some of them, so they didn't really do anything for me.
It's a bit like the Tokyo Underground. I think they're actually going to have to force us in with sticks to get us all in, but we have to suffer for a few minutes displeasure and discomfort for the privilege of being part of this day. We don't mind. We'll take it for the team.
Can we suffer? Yes,
we can.
I always look smart, yeah.
This hat means I've reached the 2nd degree level of canon. It's Pope after this.
Oh, I went out blue, no?
That's the happiest looking man I've ever seen.
Described it all along as a roller coaster, and the election was the peak. Now it's like I've come to America. There's a bigger roller coaster in America, and I'm about to hit the peak of that now, so it's going to be class.
Henry's chances of an actual historic meeting with the president-elect on today of all days were slim. And yet, as the cousin himself had so consistently maintained, there was always hope.
From what started as a journey from Donegal that's brought us here to Pennsylvania Avenue, it's unbelievable. A great, great honour.
It's amazing just to be up here, like being elevated up so high on Pennsylvania Avenue. Wow. There's the beast! Oh, my battery died! Wow, he just passed by and my battery died in my camera.
I, Barack Hussein Obama, do solemnly swear.
I, Barack Hussein Obama, do solemnly swear.
And will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States.
Preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States.
So help you God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Mr. President.
Starting today, we must pick ourselves up, dust ourselves off, and begin again the work of remaking America.
It's not like any politician. You look at the Irish politicians, it's easy to go into a daydream listening to him, but Barack Obama has you focused. He's one of those speakers. He's definitely one for the history books, just for public speaking.
And delivered it safely to future generations. Thank you. God bless you.
He's definitely an Irishman. You'd know he was. He was well able to speak.
You don't believe me, I hear you say, but Barracks is Irish as was JFK.
Shoulders of giants who came before. John Kennedy, Bobby Kennedy, Tip O'Neill, Martin Luther King. This is a great day, and I love the song. No one's more Irish than Obama. That is just fabulous. So now and in the future, hands across the ocean. This is a great time.
The fact that a man from Donegal is at last in the White House, I think it would be absolutely wonderful were he to visit. So there's every reason to be hopeful. Yes, we can.
No, we could see Michelle Obama, she was waving, and She winked at me, she saw me, obviously. She knew I was Barack's cousin. She saw the ears. It's probably the closest we'll get to Barack Obama.
Oh, have hope.
Well,
What is it that Barack taught you, man?
it's changed, we can believe him. Yeah, who knows, maybe he'll pop in later.
In the end, the cousin didn't show. Still, there was always tomorrow.
All American citizens, take a bow. Take a bow and pat yourself on the back. Because when the history book are written, that changed the whole world, started here, and you did it. Thank you. Sorry. That's it. That's it. That's from my heart. I don't want to start crying on your camera. Thank you.
Right, this is great. Yes, we can. The Lowry's represented.
People seem to be much happier. Well, not that I was here before, but they tell you that the atmosphere is different. Everyone was stopping and chatting, and only too glad to chat. You know, when you think of America, you think of the subways. People are just totally silent and looking at a book. It's like the underground in London. You don't expect anyone to start chatting to you, but people seem to be more open than I expected. But maybe that was just a closed opinion I had of what America was going to be like. I wonder would they let us in? Can I ask? Mission accomplished. We came, we saw, and we conquered. The only thing I suppose we didn't get was to meet the man, but he's in office for 4 years, so it's looking promising. If we can secure a visit between now and 2012, we'll be doing good. I don't think the journey will end until Moneygall gets to have its long-lost ancestral son back home, just for one day, just for 1 hour.
There's no one as Irish as Barack Obama. Thank you.
In 1850, when a 20-year-old Fulmouth Kearney departed for America, he left behind a cottage, 2 acres of Moneygall land, and a country sunk deep in recession, devoid of hope. Of course, back then, Ireland was an altogether different place.
Last 2 years, I suppose it's been up and down. Things have quietened off quite a lot. The tourists sort of have faded away. The interest in President Obama and his Irish roots had faded away, and there was very little happening.
Born into poverty, pull yourself up by your own bootstraps. Even if you don't have boots, you are on your own.
In the 2 years since he became president, the cousin had been busy trying to stave off a massive recession.
Moneygall has also been a victim of the recession. Many of my friends, even family, have emigrated. You know, they've gone in search of work. Moneygall is no different to anywhere else. We have lost our friends and family to the recession, but hopefully with new government and new leadership, that things will be on the up and up, and we will return back and have our friends and family back around us again shortly.
When new Taoiseach Enda Kenny travelled to Washington for the annual St. Patrick's Day celebrations, there were rumours that the White House was about to announce a visit to Ireland by Vice President Joe Biden, whose Irish ancestry was well known. 15 minutes before their joint press conference, however, those rumours were quashed as Barack told Enda that he, not Joe, would be coming instead.
I wanted to say today that I intend to come to Ireland in May.
It's the most wonderful thing I ever heard in my life that is really coming.
Not only to all the famous sites, but also to go to Moneygall, where my great-great-great-great-grandfather hails from.
To hear the president mutter the words Moneygall was Garrett Flaston.
You know, I just couldn't see it happening.
I suppose there was so much hype and everything, and we're always hoping it would happen.
We waited 4 years for this, and it's finally going to happen. We're over the moon.
To hear the president in his American accent pronouncing Moneygall was pretty funny. I can tell you, the Cheltenham races were on at the time, and all the interest turned from the horses to President Obama. Hopefully, my ambition will be fulfilled and I will get to shake the hand of the most powerful man in the world.
I don't think we'll believe it till he walks in the door.
Within hours, Henry's phone was ringing again.
No, I haven't had the Crown people on to me already, no. No one has been on to us. You mean Dulux, not Crown? Right. Very good. There's an offer I wasn't expecting. Dulux Paints want to come and paint the village.
Moneygall is a quiet but happy village. They're small but big, and it's the perfect size, really.
Everyone was really excited, I suppose, because I wouldn't say many presidents have been in Moneygall.
And that Barack Obama is coming in May.
And who is Barack Obama? Who is?
Cousin, think.
And how do you feel that your cousin is coming to visit?
Happy, yeah.
The cousin was coming all right, but he wouldn't be coming alone.
Over the last week, there has been an increased presence in the village.
I was outside looking round and off the bus.
These agents got out in their black suits, and a couple had the sunglasses. It was real Hollywood stuff.
Out of the blue, they were standing beside me. And of course, I turned around and made for the door, but as I did, some of them had gone in before me. Big, tall, very nice people. Very nice people, there's no use in saying it.
So they went into both pubs and chatted with both publicans about the visit and who lived in the houses and things like that. Those are the only people I know that they met, and the rest, I suppose, is all hush-hush.
I can rest assured we'll have more visits than that before this visit takes place, so it's just a matter of getting used to it. Who gets to meet the president? That'll be down to the security people.
If our president, American president, comes, I hope to God I shake his hand. If I do, it'll be marvellous. I'll die happy.
It's the biggest thing that'll ever happen here. And it'll go down in the history books, so we want everything right.
By now, every business from Cloughjordan to Donegal was angling for a piece of the Moneygall action. To keep things simple and local, a village committee was set up.
Some guys phoning up, like there's guys going down through Yellow Pages today, they're looking for either number 40 County Council, Peter Ormond, Henry or whomever, and they've got something they want to peddle or give away to Moneygall.
We've had offers from companies looking to put signage up in people's houses, signage on the street. Those are the sort of things we're trying to avoid.
A man called here yesterday, the lantern type poles. These are, Georgian type, the original Georgian type.
So those lights would never have been in Moneygall. No. I think, and the lights look well in themselves, but we've got to look at the whole streetscape of Moneygall and see what would work with that.
We want to make sure Moneygall is showcased for the town and the village it was before the president came, and the town and the village it will be after the president leaves. In the soccer club, I got a phone call offering me €20,000 for the soccer club if I can get the president to stand and put a bet, charity bet on him being re-elected. I can't.
Look at the longer term, to the bigger picture. It's just this is just going to be the start of it. Like, I mean, if this dies in a week, it's no good to us. Like, that's my aim in there. Like, is that the village will be a better place after all this. Like, it's just more than just one day, as far as I'm concerned. Moneygall needs a lot. I mean, if you look at Moneygall, you go down, you come in the main motorway there, and you look at the signs. It says filling station, food, accommodation. We don't have any of that in Moneygall. We have no filling station in Moneygall. If we run out of petrol, we have to drive 3 mile either side to get it. There's nowhere for food. There's no accommodation. I mean, we need an awful lot in Moneygall, and this is only going to be the start of it. So let's hope this brings us a big future.
As the weeks passed, pavements were repaired, flowers were planted, every house in the village got a fresh coat of paint, and 16 tons of rubbish was removed from fields, roads and backyards. Henry gave dozens of interviews and took hundreds of calls, but still there was no word from the cousin. No date for the visit.
Grand morning. Tis.
Moneygall had a new look to match its newfound fame. of which there was plenty to go around.
Here you are. Yours truly. What do you think of that? Didn't it come out great? Yeah. It really did, didn't it? I'll have to cut that out.
Every day it seems to ratchet up another level. Just when you think it couldn't get better, it gets better. So great excitement. The weather helps. So many people out in the streets painting their houses. The closer it gets, the better it gets.
For the first time in years, new businesses were trading, new shops opened, and the recession somehow seemed a little further from everyone's mind. Just when it seemed that nothing could possibly overshadow the homecoming visit, something did.
It was a late-night announcement that the White House had kept under wraps from feverish media speculation for as long as possible.
Tonight, I can report to the American people and to the world that the United States has conducted an operation that killed Osama bin Laden, the leader of Al-Qaeda.
What news? What do you mean, what news? We've a visit ahead. This doesn't stop. The world goes on. What message does the President give by not continuing his travel arrangements? Carry on. We're ready. We're washing the floor.
It's a huge achievement for the President. He's succeeded in something that Bill Clinton and George Bush wasn't able to do. It's going to definitely, it's increased, I suppose, the terror threat and worries for a lot of people. Hopefully it doesn't interfere with our visit.
A week later, the date of the visit was still unconfirmed. According to the Secret Service, this was standard protocol.
Jesus, there must be security if they're locking the gate.
But the village committee had other things to worry about. With tight security and limited space, who would get to meet the cousin when he eventually arrived, and who wouldn't? More to the point, who would decide all that, and how?
A public meeting and ask the people for ideas of numbers that they're expecting in their houses on the day.
I would be very reluctant to call a public meeting.
You could open a serious can of worms.
I mean, I think it would be just opening a can of worms completely.
People should be invited if they wish to attend, and nothing is guaranteed. That maybe the distance to the church in kilometres or in metres, okay? And a very simple click of a button in Microsoft Excel would decide if you were 10 yards from the church, you're in the higher region. If you're 4 kilometres from the church, at some stage a cut-off line is going to have to be drawn.
And I mean, to something like that, we have to go to a meeting which you have to have exactly something like what Willie is saying.
It'd be very hard for us as a committee to come up with that system and then go to a public meeting and say, this is what we've agreed with the council. If there's a system like that going to be drawn up, I want absolutely nothing to do with it.
Yeah, dear on this one, right? I mean, you said you'd have nothing got to do with Willie's. So someone's going to have to make suggestions. So have you a better suggestion now?
I have a total objection against Tullamore dictating what gets into Moneygall, and that's what it boils back to. But we can't, by doing Willie's system, and 1001 is left out. Sure, it is not the county manager that's going to be meeting these people. It is not the county councillors. They'll only see him once in 5 years when they come knocking on the door. It's us. They're neighbours. We're the ones that are going to get to wrap.
I'm going to ask you one question, Henry.
Yeah.
Do you think you're going to get this dead right?
No one is going to get it perfect.
No illusions. This is going to go wrong.
We do have to keep the population of the parish in our mind.
Oh, that's it.
And do we know what it is? It's around the 1600.
The Catholic parish is about 1600. We have to consider the Church of Ireland parish is St. Sebastian Kane. The issue, I suppose, is that we don't want people left out of the village. We don't want people who are coming home, who have been reared in Moneygall, people who have family in Moneygall, who have links to Moneygall. They're entitled, we believe, to be in the village. And that's the views we expressed with the county council. They had their own views.
We need to know from the embassy. I mean, someone's going to have to start talking from the embassy or from Stella O'Reilly. They're going to start doing the talking. I mean, if they're going to do the talking, they're going to have to start doing it to us now and help us out. But I'd say leave that for the next meeting in Tullamore. We'll come back, report here what goes on, and move on from there.
I can assure you, we won't go down without some sort of a fight, and make sure that we get the most for the people of Moneygall that President Obama himself has said he wanted to visit.
The atmosphere in the village was by now becoming a little unusual. Cars were cruising. Curious faces were peering through windows. Unfamiliar figures were popping up in familiar places. There were strangers in town, and lots of them.
Welcome home, President Barack Obama.
I have to take this call. Can I demic myself? No, it's partly fine.
Early in May, the Secret Service finally announced an admission system for the visit. Anyone who wanted to be in Moneygall on the day could apply for a ticket. There were no further instructions.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, there are a lot of people looking for clarification on the tickets, and there's lots of people contacting me looking for tickets. I don't have the answers. It's as simple as that. Like, I genuinely don't know. People don't believe me when I tell them I haven't been contacted. I don't know anything about the tickets.
Really, I inquired, and there was people in today asking me to give them a couple of tickets, and I said, I have no tickets to give them, and I don't know what the setup is. I'm waiting for news.
I genuinely haven't an iota how or when the tickets are going to be dispersed. I don't even know if there are going to be tickets.
You nearly get goosebumps at the moment now. You know, it's just getting closer and closer every day now, and there's a great buzz around the place. There is, actually. You know, at night there now, there's a good few people coming around and a bit of music been going on. It's grand, and I hope it keeps going.
In the week leading up to the visit, Moneygall had new reasons to celebrate every single day. When your town has a ballad dedicated to it, you know you're doing well. But when big buses arrive full of glamorous ladies looking for a party, that's when you know you've hit the big time.
Well, I suppose to be a hen party.
And I think there was a couple of them from Tommy Vera. Some of them told me they were from Mayo. I didn't know anyone. A right crowd, a guest crowd, a hen party. I did not know that.
Have you ever had a hen party coming in here before?
No. I couldn't live without it. I think I'd be taken out here in the coffin. I won't know it myself.
Behind all the media glamour and frenzied anticipation, only Marion Healy knew how much pressure her son was under.
I think he's living on adrenaline at the moment, and hopefully he won't collapse when it's all over. But he is getting shattered now, I think. Yeah, well, what I did was put them on forums here. Anyone that came on, well, we'd say the Ovingtons and those that came on, yeah.
At times like these, everyone needs a little help.
It's constant, like, there's inquiries all the time to the house about tickets and how people are going to get in on the day. I've stopped answering the house phone because I don't want to, because I don't know. So it's just tiring trying to explain everything.
That's all we know.
So I have my sidekick, my mother, answering the phone now. So
yeah.
She's spinning the same story I'll be spinning because we genuinely haven't a clue.
Finally, an official date was announced, Monday the 23rd of May. Tickets were distributed to the entire parish on the Thursday before. And with that, final preparations got underway.
After 4 years, we have a ticket. We're going to be within a stone's throw of the president. Not that I'm going to throw a stone at the president, but a stone's throw of the president. So it's brilliant.
That's grand. And thank you very much.
It's only starting, it's only starting.
On the eve of the visit, a huge security operation swung into action as the Gardaí, military and Secret Service prepared for a complete lockdown of the village. That evening, everyone went to Mass.
Tomorrow afternoon, President Barack Obama will arrive at Moneygall.
She extended her retirement to make sure the pub was open for the most historic day in the village, and we're all delighted to be in here sampling the wares.
On the paper that my pub is fit for the president to have a pint over the bar, and he'd miss out if he doesn't come in. Isn't it unreal? Unreal.
To make any special preparations now?
I'm not going to do anything different. I'm not going to be writing anything. Anything I'm going to do is awful. Everything's going to be ad lib. I'm not going to practice it. If I had something to rehearse, I'd be probably too nervous. It's not raining at the moment, but...
The biggest day in Moneygall's history, the day that Henry Healy had dreamed of for 4 years, had finally come.
Unfortunately, you weren't here with us today because it would have been fantastic to have you doing the coverage for the locals.
Right, have a look at this now. It looks like Air Force One has just landed in Dublin Airport.
Oh, brilliant.
This is the moment you've dreamed about. This is it. There is the wave.
Wow, we have to touch Irish flag. Now I'm getting butterflies.
Yeah.
Here we
1,
are.
2, 3, and there
Yay! Yes, we can. Brilliant.
With 2 hours to go, everything was in place, except the people. For security reasons, all of them were now in a holding pattern at the edge of town.
One of the Gardaí told us we had to come down here, and we got called in when we got here that Secret Service wanted us up here, but we're not allowed back through. So the guys put us to the front of the queue.
To the County Offaly village of Moneygall, where apparently people are lining the streets. Weather isn't great there.
As the hour approached, the heavens opened and the rain fell.
Michelle Obama.
After 161 years, the family is reunited. A photo was organized. and with a wave, he was gone.
There's liftoff of one of the helicopters anyway. As we say, they come in a batch.
They're so nice. You'd easily know they're related to my son.
There's a glow off them. I don't know what it is. They're just amazing people.
It's absolutely brilliant. This is what we started out 4 years ago all about, and I'm a little bit emotional.
What did you talk about?
Henry did really well today. Henry was a consummate professional. He showed the president up and down the street, introduced him to people in the crowd. He basically acted as MC for the day, and he did a brilliant job.
A dream that had once seemed impossible had finally come true, even if another, more modest one had not.
No, I didn't. No, it was raining.
Unfortunately, they couldn't get through the crowds.
No, they couldn't. No, there was crash barriers in front of my door, guards, you name it.
Are you disappointed?
Slightly. Slightly.
Unbelievable. Such an ordinary man. The atmosphere, the welcome that he got, we're just... Pity it's over. Let's do it again. Let's do it again.
I think in Henry there's the makings of a real politician, a good politician in the Barack Obama mold. I think Henry definitely has the same genes and is destined for being a very successful politician.
My name is Barack Obama of the Moneygall Obamas. And I've come home to find the apostrophe that we lost somewhere along the way.